The Freedom from Religion Foundation has just in recent days obtained two wonderful legal victories. And to talk with us about that in the studio are senior attorney Patrick Elliott and Director of Strategic Response Andrew Seidel. So Patrick, we had a great victory against Lehigh County in Pennsylvania. Can you tell us about the background?
Right. Well, we first wrote to the county about their county seal, which had a large Latin cross in the very center, requesting that they change the seal. This was in 2014. We ended up filing suit last year, challenging the seal under the First Amendment. And then just this past week, the judge ultimately ruled in our favor and ruled that the seal was unconstitutional.
Begrudgingly, though, can you talk a bit about the nature of the ruling?
The good news is the ruling is based on, Supreme Court precedent and the Court of Appeals precedent saying that this is definitely unconstitutional. It didn't have a secular purpose. It was an endorsement of religion. However, the judge offered his opinion that he thought this wasn't proper under the Establishment Clause, that it shouldn't actually be applied in this manner. Ultimately, the decision overall is good in the sense that we've prevailed.
So what are the broader legal implications of the ruling?
Well, I think it's going to have an impact on some other places in the area where the government has a symbol, a city seal, or here in this case, they also had a county flag that had a cross on it. Basically, that those have to be neutral, that they can't include religious symbols, and that all the people that live in the community, would have the right to challenge, this type of endorsement of Christianity.
And what's the next step now, Patrick? Either from us or from the opposing side?
Well, it's interesting because the county here really uses the seal and the flag all over the place, which is not the case in some places. So the judge has directed us to propose an injunction as to how they would be limited in using these symbols. And so that's the next step, is we'll propose that and see how the county responds to that injunction.
Thanks, Patrick. And another major victory for us came in really dramatic fashion at 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. I didn't even know that was possible. This was in Brevard County, Florida, and to talk with us about that is Andrew. So Andrew, could you please tell us a bit about the background?
Sure. So this is a pretty interesting case for us. In 2014, the Supreme Court said that if governments have prayer, they can't exclude anybody, including an atheist. And that was the language they used. And since then, we've been testing that. And in Brevard County, the county commission had prayers, and they actually denied a number of humanists and atheists that wanted to come in and deliver an invocation, including our Florida chapter head David Williamson, a couple of local humanist groups, and FFRF, along with Americans United for the Separation of State and Church, and ACLU, and the ACLU of Florida, sued Brevard. And as you said, we won at 11:30 on Saturday night. It was like a death penalty case almost. So it was kind of exciting and a little odd for us. This doesn't happen in our cases.
And what did the ruling say?
It was a great ruling. It would not begrudging, unlike Patrick's ruling. We won on. We made a number of arguments, including free speech, including free exercise of religion, Establishment Clause, and discrimination, and we won on all of those. We lost a couple minor points, but really it was a resounding victory for our side in this case. It was a really great opinion.
And what are the implications then of this ruling, both locally and nationwide?
So because we've been testing these forums for prayer, and we've been getting denied, we've seen denials in Arizona, and as you know, FFRF co-president Dan Barker was denied the ability to give a prayer before the House of Representatives because he wasn't going to pray to a, quote, higher power. And that exact same issue was before the court in Brevard. So it has big implications for our case against the House of Representatives and nationally. And right now it's up to the county to decide whether or not they want to appeal. The county attorney is a big believer, and he seems to want to appeal, but it'll be up to the county board itself, not the attorney.
And one heartwarming aspect of this case is, as you mentioned, that we aren't alone. There are other secular groups, ACLU, they all have joined in. Is there a coordinated legal strategy that we are applying, to respond to the county?
Yes, absolutely. It's been highly coordinated. AU took the lead on the case as it progressed, and they've done a phenomenal job. And it is it's hard to stress how important a win this is, especially because the court decided on almost all the grounds that we brought that we were correct. And to find that discrimination against atheists is not okay is really heartening in this day and age.
Well, thanks, Andrew, and thanks, Patrick. And these victories for secularism and free thought have been made possible with your help. Thank you.